Some new homeowners are being tormented by a short, violent creature with bad skin and vibrant coloured hair. No, it's not a woke activist. It's a leprechaun! He's after his bag of gold and he'll stop at nothing to get it. You're going to need a few pints of Guinness to get through a rough night with Leprechaun. Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Rewind Reviews, where we go back and have a look at a cult classic through fresh eyes. And today we're looking at Leprechaun, released in 1993, directed and written by Mark Jones. He's known for directing a little horror film called Rumpelstiltskin, Quiet Kill, and Scorned, and this movie being his feature film debut. We open the film on meeting a pissed old fart by the name of O'Grady. In case you didn't know he was Irish, he rocks up late at home, downing the rest of a bottle of whiskey, greeting his wife on the doorstep of their house, and informing her that he's stolen a leprechaun's bag of gold, which can only go well. Then said leprechaun rocks up, all kinds of pissed off, played by the legendary Warwick Davis. Leprechaun wants his bloody gold back, and he deletes O'Grady's wife and begins to torment the man. But it's not long before O'Grady discovers a way to trap the leprechaun inside of a crate. Turns out all you need is love. No, only joking. Of course, it's a four-leaf clover that will do the trick. After the leprechaun is locked away in the crate, the alcoholism gets to O'Grady and he suffers a stroke. Then fast forward 10 years later and we meet the new residents of the O'Grady farmhouse. We meet wet blanket daughter Jennifer Aniston before the nose job, and this being her second feature film. Her first feature film, however, was an uncredited extra role in Her Daddy Poos has not only brought the O'Grady farmhouse, but also decided to cosplay as Billy Ray Cyrus. Then Jennifer Aniston gets one look at this farmhouse dump and she's having none of it! This place is nothing like Los Angeles, where she'd rather be. It doesn't have any cafes, or shopping malls, or peaceful protests, or even sexual assault. And you call yourself a city, North Carolina? But all of a sudden, Jennifer Aniston changes her tune when she meets Hunky McSleeveless Shirt and she gets a raging lady boner for him. Rachel gonna Rachel. Hunky McStiffy has been hired to paint the house for the new residents, and he's brought along his baby brother and his special needs apprentice who decided to wear his Chucky outfit today. While Aniston is drooling over manpower, baby brother and special needs apprentice discovers a bag of gold, decide to hide it and keep it for themselves, which can only go well. But Leprechaun's having none of it! He is released, and then he is on the hunt. First, he injures Daddy Poos so they can rush him off the hospital so the film can fuck him off for the remainder of the runtime. Then the remaining small gang are locked down on the O'Grady farmhouse, trying to survive the night as the leprechaun torments them. This film is trying really hard to be a quirky comedy horror, but none of the jokes land. The kills aren't all that imaginative, bar one involving a pogo stick, and they're not very gory either. It's clear that Warwick Davis is having an absolute blast on set. He's really in his element here, and just adding another creature character to his resume. And if you haven't seen the show with him and Ricky Gervais called Life's Too Short, I highly recommend it. It's painfully hilarious, in the same vein as the original Office. I will say that the DOP work is actually magnificent here, and there's more Dutch angles than a one-legged camera operator on the set of Batman 66. However, all of it does kind of come across looking rather cheap, like it's a made-for-TV movie. You know, the kind that you would probably find late at night on the Sci-Fi Channel, or even an old Tales of the Crypt episode. I never grew up watching this movie, so it doesn't really have any nostalgia factor for me. I always heard about it, and I was always going to come around to watching it, and here we are. But honestly, I wasn't that impressed with it, and not even in a fun, cheesy kind of way. Like, for instance, Killer Clowns from Outer Space is bad, really bad, but cheesy fun bad. This movie, Leprechaun, I just found was just bad. If I'm overly generous and objective here, I'll say that this film is probably in the B grade of the horror holiday genre. Obviously the holiday being St. Patrick's Day for this film. But personally, for me, I would probably put it in the C grade category. And in all honesty, I probably won't watch it again. However, in saying that, there is obviously a fan base for this film because it spawned 5 sequels. The film is thankfully only 1 hour and a half, but by God, it felt like 3. I honestly was really bored throughout this film. Warwick Davis couldn't even really save it for me. And it's very repetitive too. The same thing just keeps happening, like they're trying to pad out the runtime. Anyway, not a fan of this cult classic, but I know there's a fan base out there. Anyway guys, that's my cheeky little rewind review of Leprechaun 1993. Write down below if you've seen it, what are your honest thoughts about it, but more importantly, what is your favourite installment in the franchise? And of course, if you've made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies, and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because I give it an episode weekly, and I'll see you back here next week for the next review, and until then, stay spooky, kids.